Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody.
Welcome, beautiful ghouls. Sorry, an alien just tried to escape Jody.
You know when your throat makes that weird noise after you take a drink?
Oh, so this is Brandy. I'm here with my sister Jody and her alien.
Hello.
So, I've been dying to tell you. Something happened last night that I'm still trying to wrap my brain around because I don't know what happened. Okay, and I also wanted to mention that there's probably going to be a lot of background noise tonight because we got a lot of things happening. Okay, so yeah, we got kids and animals and everything going on. So if you hear stuff in the background, that's what that is. Anyway, so last night, it was like 11 o'clock and I was in the bedroom and I was trying to think of what I wanted to wear today to work. So I went into the attic, which is where I have my clothes hung up, and I was looking for this sweatshirt, whatever. And I heard something, so I left the door open. And I heard something, so I turned around, and right before I went in there, I had checked on Tyrion because her lights were still on. Like I said, it was late.
Yeah.
So she was asleep, but I had to turn her TV off and her light off. She still had her glasses on, and she still had her hair up in the towel from...
Oh, yeah.
I just left that. I took her glasses off, turned off everything, and let her be. And so I was in there looking for my shirt, and I heard something, so I turned around, and I saw Tyrion, quickly cross the door going into her room. So... like she was going to the bathroom or something, and she was rushing, and I was like, what is she doing? So I got my shirt, I turned off the light, and I went out and I checked on her, and I swear it didn't look like she moved at all. It looks like that's where I had left her when I checked on her. She
was in the same position and everything? Yeah. With the towel on her head?
Yeah. Well, when I saw her cross by the door, she still had the towel on her head. But she was it was weird, she was rushing to, like I said, it was, if she was going to the bathroom or something, there would be no reason for her.
If someone woke up from sleeping and went to use the bathroom, they're not running around.
Well, she wasn't running.
Or rushing. I mean...
Exactly. It was just weird. It was weird, So I was like, what is she doing? Not to mention the fact that if she got up to go to the bathroom, she would have taken the towel out of her hair. I mean, that's just what she would have done,
Or did you hear the toilet flush or anything?
That was another thing. The toilet wasn't running. Her light was still, it didn't look like she had moved at all. It was just strange. So I didn't think about it, I was like, whatever. So I asked her about it today, and she was like, I got up one time around 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom. She's like, that's it.
I don't like that story.
The weird part about this is, okay, when I saw her rushing, it reminded me of she was in her room, had gotten only her underwear and bra on, forgot something, rushed into the bathroom and rushed, before anyone saw her.
Okay.
That's the kind of vibe that I got from her rushing.
Okay.
She had done that when she got out of the shower. She went into her room, got her bra and underwear on, forgot her socks in the bathroom, went in there and got them, and then rushed back.
Ooh.
Earlier that night.
Ooh, so it was like a
residual
or
residual something I saw. What the fuck?
No, but I don't like it.
I know.
That's creepy.
I know. I was like, what? I was like, are you sure you didn't get up from the time that you went to sleep till, she's like, no, when I got up one time, and when I went back in my room, I needed to charge my phone because she, like I said, she fell asleep with her glasses on, all the lights on, so she didn't plug in her phone. So she was like, I found my phone. I specifically looked at the time. She said it was 3:02 in the morning. So,
Wow.
what the fuck did I see?
I don't know. That's weird.
I know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. What?
That's just one of those things you're going to have to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It happened. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so that just happened.
That's weird.
I know. Okay. I'm going to be all over the place, just to let you know, because I have a bunch of different things that I want to talk about. So, this was being passed around Facebook, and I had to print it off and read it to you guys because it is embarrassing medical exams, and it's hilarious. So I'm going to read these real quick. First one: a man comes into the ER and yells, "My wife's going to have her baby in the cab." I grabbed my stuff, rushed out to the cab, lifted the lady's dress, and began to take off her underwear. Suddenly I noticed that there were several cabs, and I was in the wrong one. Could you imagine if he was like a hot doctor and she's just standing there like, yeah, okay, you can do this. Giant smile on her face. That was submitted by Dr. Mark McDonald in San Francisco. Okay, second one. At the beginning of my shift, I placed a stethoscope on an elderly and slightly deaf female patient's anterior chest wall. Big breaths, I instructed. Yes, they used to be, she said. That was submitted by Dr. Richard Burns, Seattle, Washington. Next one. One day I had to be the bearer of bad news when I told a wife that her husband had died of a massive myocardial infarct. Not more than 5 minutes later, I heard her reporting to the rest of the family that he had died of a massive internal fart. That's horrible. Oh, what hilarious.
Her family was like, what? I didn't know you could die from that.
Could he not let it out? What? Did he blow up?
Oh my god.
That was submitted by Dr. Susan Steinberg. Number 4, during a patient's 2-week follow-up appointment with his cardiologist, he informed me, his doctor, that he was having trouble with one of his medications. Which one, I asked. The patch. The nurse told me to put a new one on every 6 hours, and I'm running out of places to put him. I had to quickly undress him and discovered what I hoped I wouldn't see. Yes, the man had over 50 patches on his body.
Oh no.
Now, the instructions included the removal of the old patch before applying the new one. That was submitted by Dr. Rebecca St. Clair in Norfolk, Virginia. Okay. Next one. While acquainting myself with a new elderly patient, I asked, "How long have you been bedridden?" After a look of complete confusion, she answered, "Why, not for about 20 years, since my husband was alive." That was submitted by Dr. Stephen Swanson in Corvallis, Oregon. Next one, I was...
Bedridden.
Huh?
Bedridden.
I know, right? Okay. Next one. I was performing rounds at the hospital one morning, and while checking up on a man, I asked, "How's your favorite breakfast this morning?" "It's very good, except for this Kentucky jelly. I can't seem to get used to the taste," Bob replied.
Oh no.
I then asked to see the jelly,
No.
and Bob produced a foil packet labeled KY jelly.
Gross.
I know. Why would you continue to put it on your food if you're
Maybe I'll get used to it. Kentucky.
by Dr. Leonard Kransdorf in Detroit. Next one, a nurse was on duty in the emergency room when a young woman with purple hair styled into a punk rocker mohawk, sporting a variety of tattoos, and wearing strange clothing entered. It was quickly determined that the patient had acute appendicitis, so she was scheduled for immediate surgery. When she was completely disrobed on the operating table, the staff noticed that her pubic hair had been dyed green, and above it there was a tattoo that read, "Keep off the grass." Once the surgery was completed, the surgeon wrote a short note on the patient's dressing, which said, "Sorry, had to mow the lawn."
That is awesome. I want to know what her response was.
No, she probably lost
She
it.
probably did. That's great.
Okay. Next one, as a new young MD doing his residency in OB, I was quite embarrassed when performing a female pelvic exam. To cover my embarrassment, female pelvic exams, he was embarrassed of doing those. To cover my embarrassment, I had unconsciously formed a habit of whistling softly. The middle-aged lady upon whom I was performing this exam suddenly burst out laughing, further embarrassing me. I looked up from my work and sheepishly said, "I'm sorry, was I tickling you?" She replied with tears running down her cheeks from laughing so hard, "No, doctor, but the song you were just whistling was I Wish I Was an Oscar Mayer Wiener." The doctor wouldn't submit his name.
Aww. Come on, own it, dude. That's funny.
I know. And last one. A woman and a baby were at the doctor's examining room waiting for the doctor to come in for the baby's first exam. The doctor arrived and examined the baby, checked his weight, and being a little concerned, asked if the baby was breastfed or bottle fed. "Breastfed," she replied. "Well, strip down to your waist," the doctor ordered. She did. He pinched her nipples, pressed, kneaded, and rubbed both breasts for a while in a very professional and detailed examination. Motioning to her to get dressed, the doctor said, "No wonder this baby's underweight. You don't have any milk." "I know," she said. "I'm his grandmother, but I'm glad I came in."
Oh, that's great. She's glad she came in.
Could you imagine? Well, strip down your waist. All right. It's been a while.
Why would she do that? I'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay. So yeah, I had to read those. They were just too funny. Laura wrote us again.
Yay, Laura. We love Laura.
Laura. And this story gave me freaking chills when I read it. So, as it starts, "Hello, ladies, again. I just remembered I have a little UFO story, too. Hope it's not too tiny." No.
Doesn't matter.
Long, short, we don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Write us. Ghouls Night Out Podcast
Please.
at gmail.com.
Thanks.
I used to date a boy who was living in a farm with his family. Their house was in the middle of fields and no other houses nearby. One evening in the middle of the winter, they were all gathered in the kitchen, my boyfriend, his brother, and his two sisters, parents, and grandma, to eat an evening snack, when suddenly all of the windows of their house were illuminated with a very strong light. It was really, really bright, so they couldn't even look straight at it. They ran from room to room, realizing the light was actually coming in every window of their house.
Oh my gosh.
There wasn't any sound outside, which made it even stranger, and this lasted 15 to 20 seconds, and then the light was gone. The dad went outside to check what it could have been, but nothing was seen or heard. And the next day they noticed that every window outside all around the house had odd little burn marks all around in the frames. They didn't want to talk about this, but everyone said it happened like that, and no one had any other explanation. I have seen those tiny burning marks with my own eyes, and they were outside every fucking window frame all around the house.
Wow.
I can't even think what could have caused it. What do you think? Again, Laura with strange grammar. Thank you, Laura, so much. What else could that be?
Yeah, I mean, a light can't just come out of nowhere. I mean,
Not to
there's got to
mention-
be a source.
Not to
And they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and every single window of an entire house.
That's crazy.
That is creepy. And the burn marks, oh my God. That, like I said, that gave me chills. I was like, oh my gosh, that is creepy.
That would drive me nuts.
I know.
Not knowing what it was.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, again, that would be something like, okay, thanks, bye. I'm going to put that out of my head for the moment. That's creepy.
That is creepy.
So thank you so much, Laura, for writing in. Not too tiny at all. Awesome. We love it. Everyone else write in too.
Please.
I also wanted to mention, I never go on Twitter. I'm always on Facebook.
I don't even. I've went on Twitter. I've looked at it, and then I went back out because I don't understand.
I know. I don't get it either. I don't understand either. So I was just on there. I just popped on there, and I saw Lauren at Charminner. So CharMinner on Twitter. She has been recommending us everywhere. So Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Yes, that's awesome. Okay, next one.
Don't
next
you have
thing.
something to say?
Oh, yeah. Rate, review, subscribe, download, and listen. You guys.
Rate us, please.
Yes, like
Subscribe.
I said last week, that the more you rate, you can also rate us on our Facebook page too, which Laura, you have rated us 5 stars, so we've got 1 review on there. So yeah, go on Facebook, review our page too. Anytime you do anything like that, it's going to let us move up on lists of good podcasts and what everyone's listening to. Anytime you see someone that needs a recommendation on Facebook or anywhere, recommend us. Tell people what podcasts are. Do what you can. We really appreciate it. So get the word out there so we can get more listeners, more stories, and we can all just talk and have ghouls nights, and it'll be great. Yay. Okay. So Michelle, like I said last week, she suggested that I do funny headlines from Florida. So I got a few of those, and like I said, they're just headlines, and trust me, they say it all. First one, Florida man steals shoes after job interview.
What? What?
A Florida man who went on a job interview at Kohl's on December 5th decided to swipe some shoes for his mother on the way out. Deputies arrested him in the parking lot
Oh my god.
as he attempted to leave.
Please tell me they did not hire him.
Oh my god. They were like, called the next day, hey, you still interested?
You have to bring the shoes back, but we'll
Oh
hire
my
you. if you
gosh.
want.
Are you still in jail? Sorry. Oh my gosh. Next one, Florida man breaks into home, gets naked, and cooks spaghetti. A Florida man was arrested after breaking into an elderly woman's home, stripping naked, and cooking himself some spaghetti.
Could you imagine, like, walking into your kitchen?
Ew, no.
I don't know what I would do. I'd probably pick something up and start hitting them or something. I don't know.
You don't know what you're going to do in a situation like that. But, if he was like, still cooking and she came in and he was like, hey, you hungry? Or if he had a knife in his hand, that, both of those situations would be completely different. But either way.
What are you saying? It's all a matter of perspective?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Any naked dude that's not supposed to be in my house is
Well, I
gone.
just thought about it. Any naked dude that asks me if I'm hungry, I'm going to have a big problem with that. I didn't think that one through. That's just creepy.
That's just gross.
No sausage spaghetti for me. Thanks. Ew. Okay. Next one. Florida man enters convenience store carrying live gator and chases customers. Oh my god.
Why?
A Florida man was caught on camera entering a convenience store with a live alligator and chasing around customers with it. Just for laughs, you know. Armless Florida man stabs tourist with scissors held in his feet. You would think you would be able to outrun him. What the fuck?
Was he like hopping on his ass or something? Come here.
That would be impressive. An armless Florida man.
People were stopping and taking like selfies.
Oh yeah, totally.
Posting it on Facebook.
Okay, well, it says an armless Florida man faces charges after stabbing a Chicago tourist with scissors held in his feet. How the fuck did that
You
happen?
had to sneak up on him, right?
Well, I
don't know. That's just so stupid. I can't.
Okay, the Chicago tourist had to have done something wrong in this scenario because what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. It's like a one-legged man winning an ass-kicking contest. It just doesn't happen. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Florida man reports dead body by taking skull to Publix and using it as a hand puppet. Patrons of a Publix in Sebastian called 911 on a Florida man after he brought a decaying human skull into the store and used it as a hand puppet.
What the fuck?
I don't want to know where he got
Obviously,
that.
well, that, and he's obviously mental.
Yes, that's creepy.
Who does that?
Nobody does that. Not anywhere but in Florida. Okay, next one. Naked Florida man drinks 2 liters of vodka, burns down house baking cookies on George Foreman grill. An intoxicated naked Florida man was arrested for causing a house fire after attempting to bake cookies on a George Foreman grill. That would be me. I'd be like, oh my god, this would be totally faster, man.
How would it start a fire, though?
He probably left him in too long. He drank 2 liters of vodka, so he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
No, obviously.
Okay, Florida man driving car full of stolen mail crashes into trailer full of alpacas.
There's just a trailer of alpacas?
Just sitting there, I guess. I don't know.
Unless they were transporting them somewhere.
Yeah.
When you said trailer, I think of like a trailer that people live in.
That would be weird. Like a creepy alpaca family lives in a trailer park.
That's what I pictured when you said that.
I'm like, what the fuck? Why would they be in there? Who put them there? How do they support themselves? Do they have jobs?
I bet their lawn looks good.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't understand this one at all. Florida man swings anchor at beachgoers because they ruined his chicken. Angry that beachgoers ruined his grilled chicken, a Florida man wielded a metal anchor and swung it at them while cursing. How did they ruin his chicken? That's what I want to know.
Unless he was barbecuing on the beach.
Oh, maybe.
And
They like got sand up in there or something.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, sand gets everywhere at the beach, so don't grill chicken at the beach. Next one, Florida man says he wasn't drinking and driving because he only drank at stoplights. I get what he's saying. I do.
That's not how it works. If that was how it works, we would all be in trouble.
Yeah, that's
I was
for
stopped.
I wasn't driving at all. No, I wasn't driving.
I waited until I swallowed all of it. Then I went.
And the last one of these, Florida man breaks into home, steals alcohol, poops on floor, and falls asleep on a couch.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. That's
Can we like detach Florida from the rest of us and just kind of
make them their own island?
Yeah, just kind of
Oh my gosh.
scoot them out there and
I wish.
leave them.
Okay.
Just whatever.
Now, before I got any of this stuff, I went back to facts, tried to look up some creepy facts. So I got creepy facts about seemingly innocent children's games. So these are like old, like a lot of these I haven't even heard of.
Oh, okay.
But, well, some of them I have. So the first one is Ring Around the Rosie, which you know what that is about the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
The Black Death, also known as the bubonic plague, swept Europe in the mid-1300s. It was likely spread by fleas that lived on merchant ship rats. During this time period, medicine was practiced based on 4 humors: black bile, yellow bile, blood, and phlegm. People believed that certain practices, like filling their shirt pockets with flowers, would keep them from catching the plague. This phrase, pocket full of posies, references this. The rest of the nursery rhyme deals with the plague itself and the aftermath of it. The Ring Around the Rosie references the red skin pustules that are a symptom of the plague. Ashes, ashes refers to sneezing and wheezing noises made by the victims. And of course, They All Fall Down line refers to the massive death toll of the disease.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, that's creepy, though. Children's... Yeah, crazy. Next one is Goosey Goosey Gander, which I don't know what that is.
That sounds familiar.
It's a British nursery rhyme. It references prostitution.
Oh, well.
Goosey Goosey Gander is a British nursery rhyme with some very disturbing connotations. To begin with, the word goose is a British slang for prostitute. This puts In My Lady's Chamber line into the completely new context. Other parts of the rhyme refer to the persecution of Catholic priests under the regimen of Henry VIII. Some houses had hidden cupboards known as priest holes, where priests would hide from authorities. If they were caught, they would be beaten up and removed from the house. Or as the nursery rhyme goes, so I took him by his left leg and threw him down the stairs.
Well.
Crazy. That's crazy. Cooties come from a real parasitic insect, which is crazy. Cooties aren't necessarily part of a game, although they could be included in tag. The one whose it also has cooties. In most cases, cooties are something that kids claim is contagious and transmitted from a boy to a girl or vice versa via touch. Though these bugs are imaginary, cooties likely existed. The word kutu is found in the Malaysian and Maori languages and refers to the parasitic biting insect that's similar to lice.
You said cooties so many times it started losing its meaning.
I did?
It was like cooties, cooties, cooties.
That's fun.
I used to do that though.
What?
You have cooties.
Oh yeah, I think we all did that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. As long as I wasn't the one with cooties, I was fine. Okay. The 9 Men's Morris board protected from people from evil.
What was it?
9 Men's Morris is a board game that is very similar to checkers. It's played by both children and adults and is more popular in Europe than it is the United States. However, it has creepy origins that date back to 14 BCE, which I've never heard that before. The 9 Men's Morris board consists of 3 nested squares, each one smaller than the other, and similar lines that intersect with each square. Together, they form something called Morris Square, which is a sacred symbol to the ancient Celtic peoples. The center square meant regeneration, and the 4 lines emanating from it referred to 4 winds, 4 cardinal directions, and 4 elements. That's interesting.
Never heard of that one before.
No. Yeah, like I said, there's a few on here that I hadn't never heard of. But they're from British and you got British people, so hopefully they know what this means. Edwardian era adults copped a feel with Blind Man's Bluff.
Oh, well.
Blind Man's Bluff is a game that consists of a blindfolded person who is it, and other players who either stand around or move at will until they are tagged. If the person who's it correctly identifies someone they've tagged, that person is the next to be blindfolded. Why would adults in the Edwardian period play this game? Despite the rise in women's independence during the early 1900s, there were still social norms in place, particularly where dating and courting were concerned. It was easy to get a bunch of men and women in one parlor and use the game to get around this, as copping a feel was easily executed when it was done under the guise of fun.
Oh my gosh.
So some creepy teenage boy made this game up, and he was like, hey, let's play this so I can feel your boobs.
It doesn't have to be a teenage boy.
You're right.
Any boy. Any boy.
Yeah, that's true. Next one, Three Blind Mice mocks Bloody Mary. Queen Mary I of England, also known as Bloody Mary, earned her nickname for a mass Protestant execution that she ordered done during her reign. She also inspired the nursery rhyme Three Blind Mice. The line about the farmer's wife was said in jest, mocking the queen and her vast land holdings. The three blind mice themselves were Protestants who were killed for not following the queen's religion of Catholicism.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Light as a feather, stiff as a board was used to ward off disease. Light as a feather, stiff as a board is a rather creepy kids game that requires one child to pretend to be deceased while others lift him or her up off of the ground with their fingertips. Some people compare it to the faked seances of Victorian era only for children. The game itself reportedly dates back from the 17th century when another round of the plague wreaked havoc on Europe. Samuel Pepys was a famous member of English Parliament, witnessed a group of children playing the game, and took note of what the children were saying about the one pretending to be dead. The chant took on what seemed to be a Christian blessing, hopefully protecting him from the plague.
All right.
Victorians used Red Rover to flirt. Many of the games that children play today were enjoyed by adults in the past. Take Red Rover, which is played by two teams of people who stand in a row with their hands linked. Players take turns running to the opposing line, attempting to break through. Red Rover was popular with adults during the Victorian era, probably because it could be used to get around proper social norms and dating customs that involved not touching anyone of the opposite sex. So another excuse to...
Yeah.
And my last one, hoop rolling trained ancient Romans for the military. Hoop rolling is a long-time children's game. It usually consists of two kids, each with a single hoop and a stick, racing each other from one point to another, although the game can also be played solo. Usually the hoop and the stick are made of wood, but in ancient Rome, the hoop was a trochus, and a clavic was the stick, were made of metal. Roman soldiers would train with these devices, trying to see how many times they could stick a spear through the hoop while keeping it rolling. To them, this was viewed as a manly sport. Okay. All right, that's all I have for the beginning. Sorry, I was kind of long-winded this week, but I had a lot of stuff.
It was fun. Okay, so this week I did Ghosts of New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
And before I go any further, all these ones that I've been doing of the different states, I got from hauntedrooms.com.
Oh, okay.
And that's a good place to go. Like I said, if you guys want to go to, like, on vacation or something and you want to stay in a haunted place.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of, the
I was really
hotels
sad
and
that
stuff.
you didn't like my idea to go out in the middle of the woods. And
No. I read it and I'm like, is she crazy? What the fuck? No.
No, Jody posted a thing on Facebook about the most haunted places, and we've been talking about maybe staying at a haunted hotel. And the creepiest place in Indiana is a hotel, and they still take reservations, and you can get a room. And I was like, well, hey, why don't we go there? But it's like out in the middle of the woods.
20 miles. 20 miles into the woods.
Yeah, I didn't read. I just saw a hotel and went to the website and was like, hey, it's available. Let's do it.
You go right on ahead.
Never
I'll
mind.
stay here
Just
at my
kidding.
house. It's so scary because they have to go through that much woods just to get there.
Yeah. And that's determination. So if they get to you, they're going to kill you.
Well, yes. All right. So the first one is Dawson Cemetery. And just so you know, this is New Mexico, so I'm going to be botching a lot of names.
Well, what's new with us?
Yes. So this is in Cimarron something. Dawson is a ghost town close to Cimarron, but there is very little left now. Well, apart from the cemetery, which also just happens to be one of the most haunted places in New Mexico. Dawson originally sprang up around the large coal mining operation that was run by the Phelps Dodge Corporation. However, the town and the mine were shrouded in death and destruction, so much so that it almost seems fitting that only the cemetery remains. In 1913, a massive explosion killed 263 men, going down in history as one of the worst coal mining tragedies in American history. As if that was not bad enough, in 1923, disaster struck once more at the mine and claimed the lives of all 121 remaining miners.
Oh,
With
shit.
such massive tragedy, it is no surprise that there are ghost stories here. Common reports include spectral lights believed to be miners' helmet lights and various apparitions wandering among the graves.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah. Sad, too.
Yeah, that's a lot of miners.
Well, it was all of them.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
So that was 300 and
that's
something.
insane.
See me trying to do math in my head.
Oh, we don't do math.
That's not going to work. La Posada Hotel in Santa Fe. La Posada Hotel in Santa Fe is said to be haunted by the ghost of Julia Stab, the former mistress of the house, which is now part of the hotel. It is said that Julia fell into a deep depression following multiple miscarriages and the death of her only child. This led her to become a shut-in, and she not only lived the remainder of her life inside the house, but she also died there. It is thought that this has tethered her to the property even in death, and many staff and guests have reported seeing her spirit in the hotel, usually crying in a corner or simply looking forlorn. Chemo Theater in Albuquerque. Albuquerque always reminds me of Bugs Bunny.
Why?
Because they always talked about Albuquerque.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That reminds me of Breaking Bad.
Oh, I never watched that. Not only is Albuquerque's Chemo Theater a stunning building to look at, but it is also considered to be one of the most haunted places in the state. The resident ghost is believed to be a young boy named Bobby who died in the building back in 1951. During a movie screening, the water heater in the lobby exploded, killing the youngster instantly. He is now said to roam the theater, causing all sorts of mischief. In fact, performers have taken to leaving him small gifts and toys to try and occupy him so that his tricks do not interfere with the performances. However, he is not impressed by the offerings. He likes to mess with the electronics and distract the actors, making them fluff their lines.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's funny. Just like a little kid, huh?
Messing with them when they're trying to be serious and shit. That's great.
Otoka School in Artesia. One of the creepiest things about Otoka School is that it more or less just closed overnight, and to this day, nobody actually seems to know why.
What?
Did something terrible happen there? Is that why it is so haunted? Nobody knows. In fact, the school is not the only establishment to close down rapidly in this building. Over the years, it has served a number of purposes, and every single time the business is closed more or less overnight with little or no warning.
Oh, no.
These days, it is a popular place for teenagers to hang out and try to scare each other. They usually do not have to try very hard, since most who have visited said that there is a dark energy that lives in the walls, and many reports having heard groans, snarls, and what can only be described as demonic voices.
What?
That's crazy.
That is creepy. Anyone that just abandons shit.
Yeah, that's, to me, that is scary.
Yeah.
Just any story you hear of people just leaving their shit and going.
Yeah, because that's panic mode.
Yeah. They're like, we don't care about anything else.
Exactly.
We're out of here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
It's got
scary.
to be bad for that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I love it.
Luna Mansion in Las Lunas. Luna Mansion is said to be haunted by Josefita Otero, who died in 1951 at the age of 77. She was responsible for overseeing renovations to the mansion, which could be why she's still hanging around. The location is fairly pleased that she has remained and gone out of their way to embrace their paranormal reputation. They have even gone so far as to rename the room in which Josefita appears the Spirit Lounge. Josefita is frequently seen walking the staircase or sitting in her rocking chair in the Spirit Lounge.
Ooh, creepy. I wonder if the rocking chair rocks.
Ooh, with no one in it.
Yeah.
I've heard there's one at Hannah House
Oh.
in Indianapolis.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun.
Old Bernalillo County Courthouse in Albuquerque. Old Bernalillo County Courthouse was built in 1926, and over the years it has garnered a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the land of enchantment. In particular, it is the basement of the building which is said to be extremely haunted. Witnesses have reported seeing flickering lights, encountering cold spots, and mysterious gusts of wind. In fact, the courthouse has such a reputation for being a paranormal hotspot that it has also been used as a haunted house attraction on Halloween.
Gusts of wind in a closed courthouse.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's creepy.
That reminds me, we still need to go to Noblesville and take a tour of that.
Oh, that jailhouse
yes.
thing. Yeah, we do need to do that. I wonder if they do tours, though. I didn't think they said anything about tours. They just said go in there. We need to look it up and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Schaefer Hotel in Mountain Air. Many people are put off by the Schaefer Hotel in Mountain Air because of the swastikas carved into the facade. However, it is important to remember that the symbol is 3,000 years old, and this building was constructed long before World War II, when it came to symbolize such horror and atrocity. If anything should put guests off spending the night, it's not the swastikas, but rather the fact that it is one of the most haunted locations in New Mexico. The Schaefer Hotel is so haunted that it has actually hosted paranormal conferences in the past. Guests often report seeing flashing lights and strange shapes and shadows flitting around inside. Yeah, it's really sad that symbols that have been around for so long, where some hate group decides to take it, and now all of a sudden it's like instant.
We can't use that anymore because some asshole.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I know.
Urraca Mesa, Angel Fire. Urraca Mesa is found on the Philmont Scout Ranch, a property near Angel Fire that is owned by the Boy Scouts of America. However, the legend that is linked to this location is much more than a campfire ghost story. The land was originally occupied by Native American tribes who believed that Urraca Mesa is actually a gateway to the demon realm, or to put it in more simple terms, the mouth of hell.
What?
Don't want to go there.
No, oh my gosh.
Albuquerque Press Club in Albuquerque. Albuquerque Press Club is housed in what was formerly the Whittlesey House. The property was built in 1903 as a family residence. It is a 3-story property built in the same manner as a Norwegian villa, with low-pitch roofs, exposed log fronting, and rough-cut log facades. It is a very rustic look and was far removed from the family's previous residence in Chicago. When it was first built, it stood on its own since the town had not yet grown out towards that area. There would not have been any vegetation or trees in the area either, which gave the property fantastic views of the Sandias, the river, and the volcanoes. In short, the location is pretty picturesque, which seems at odds with the fact that the building is considered to be one of the most haunted places in the state. The house is now a private club, the Albuquerque Press Club, and it is said to be haunted by a spirit known as Mrs. M. The ghost is said to appear in the form of a woman with a black shawl. Regulars have reported hearing the sound of her high heels on the floor and say that the piano can often be heard playing on its own.
Oh, that's creepy. Have you ever seen like a ghost show with a piano playing? Like they can hear piano music?
Yes.
It's so creepy. I love it.
Yes, it is. Santa Fe State Penitentiary in Santa Fe. While it was in operation, Santa Fe Penitentiary housed some of the very worst criminals in New Mexico. It was also the site of the most violent prison riot in the history of the United States. Records indicate that during this riot, there were 33 people killed and more than 200 inmates were treated for serious injuries. During the riot alone, people were burned alive, brutally attacked, and murdered in cold blood, and that is before we even take into consideration the deaths that would have occurred during everyday prison life outside of the riot. To say that this place had some bad juju associated with it would probably be something of an understatement. Tours are available in both standard and paranormal formats, and many visitors say that they have been followed home by some of the dark spirits that reside here at Santa Fe State Penitentiary. No thank you.
Yeah. Always with the penitentiaries, man. Those are creepy.
St. James Hotel and Restaurant in Cimarron, New Mexico. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's Cimarron.
That sounds right to me.
A vintage hotel with the indelible marks of history of the Wild West, the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico beckons to visitors to kick off their boots, including visitors who have never quite moved on even after death. And then my last one is La Fonda Hotel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The landmark hotel of Santa Fe La Fonda exudes old world charm and hospitality. La Fonda Hotel is not only a unique destination because of the impeccable service, but also because of ghostly visitors who frequent the place.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So this week we are going to discuss some assholes.
Right on.
And we're going to ask our famous question of what the fuck is wrong with people.
Oh, no.
Because I'm going to talk about the most horrifying and disrespectful things guests have done in people's homes.
Oh, no.
I got these from Ranker. And the first one is from a Redditor, Murky Purple. Someone at a party dumped a cup of vodka in my fish tank because, quote, your fish looked bored, ha ha ha. I kicked everyone out and had to change all the water before they died.
Oh my gosh.
What an asshole.
But he wasn't invited anywhere anymore.
That's for sure. All right, next one is from Redditor Chet Snaker. Lost my friend of 30 years over this. He brings a woman over for a small get-together. She encourages my pregnant wife to drink, asks our friend if she's bisexual. She's not. She comes into the kitchen, grabs knives, and pretends to stab everyone while doing knife katas, which I don't know what that is.
That's a karate thing.
Oh my God. Later, she chases the not bisexual friend all over the house in what all of us felt like very predatory. I physically stop her by grabbing her wrists and say, "What the hell is going on with you?" She replies, "Go ahead, break my wrists."
Oh my gosh.
The not bisexual friend, who was so upset she took a self-defense course, made up an excuse to stay in the bathroom for an hour. We had a fire outside where the weird guests remarked, "There are 3 things you can watch forever: a river flowing, a fire burning, and someone being hurt." My friend of 30 years saw no problem with any of this behavior.
Oh my gosh.
Married her, and I've not heard from him in a year, nor do I wish to. I saw him in the supermarket with his now pregnant wife and slipped out. I assume at some point she will murder him.
Oh my god.
What a psycho! And what an even bigger psycho for marrying her. Oh my god. Next one is from Redditor Amithorus. My sister and one of her friends were over. Her friend had brought her kid. He was about 7. We left him watching TV in the living room while we had coffee in the other room. Later that evening, I sat on the couch and smelled something absolutely disgusting. I looked behind the couch. It was one of the curved ones that goes into a corner and leaves a nook behind it. I saw a huge pile of diarrhea. It had already fused with the carpet. I had to cut the entire corner of the carpet away while wearing a dust mask sprayed with cologne.
Oh my gosh.
Disgusting and horrible. Next one is from Redditor Hot Dish Enthusiast. Roommate's boyfriend comes over drunk. Roommate was not there, but he said he wanted to wait for her, and we were too non-confrontational to make him leave. After a while, he goes into the bathroom, and we hear lots of splashing around, but again, too timid to ask what the fuck is going on in there. Fuck that! He comes out, sits down, and we notice his arms are completely covered in black marker. Then he says, "You might want to clean up the bathroom, there's water all over in there," and leaves. He had taken a fucking black Sharpie, colored his arms, and tried cleaning it off. Then it wouldn't come off, and he got the marker wet and splashed black Sharpie all over the entire bathroom. There were puddles of Sharpie water all over the floor. It stained the linoleum, and despite our roommate's attempt to clean it up, we ended up losing the security deposit money over it. He was no longer allowed over without her there.
What a dick.
Seriously, who does that? What a psycho. Next one is from Redditor AFrac04. A male friend from out of town asked to stay in my spare bedroom with his new girlfriend. No problem for me, I have 3 spares. We party as a group at a local bar and Uber home separately. I go to bed alone, and as I'm passing by his room, I hear him and his girlfriend talking in their room. I needed to pee and take my contacts out, so I opened the door to the bathroom only to find a stark naked woman drinking water, holding onto the sink for dear life. I simply shut the door and went into my room. I realized that she was the woman he had had a one-night stand with 2 weeks prior in that spare bedroom. She finishes her water and marches into the bedroom. They end up having the noisiest threesome I've ever heard. To be fair, it was the only threesome I had ever heard, but to make matters worse, they tell me in the morning that the bed is broken, and the 3 of them thrusted the wood bed frame to pieces. God. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Next one is from Redditor Red Fury. Not a guest, but a roommate. He once kicked the door open to our spare bedroom and destroyed the door jamb. I came back to find this after a weekend away with my significant other. He admits to it and says not to worry, he was going to fix it. He spends the next week sitting around smoking weed and pounding 40s, being fed up and not having a bathroom that locks for my girlfriend, one female in the house of 5 dudes. I go to the hardware store and buy all the materials. While I'm hammering the splintered door jamb back together, the culprit is sitting on his ass smoking weed and fucking around with some Call of Duty game. When I finish, I hand him a bill and tell him he has 2 weeks to pay it. He cried in my doorway for like 30 minutes, begging me not to charge him, and I claimed that it wasn't valid because he was going to fix it. I charged him $20 for an hour of my labor, and material cost only came to about $60. He paid when I told the landlord to threaten to evict his ass. God, what a lazy asshole. Next one's from Redditor Weird Wolf Guy. Had a friend come over for a weekend thing to celebrate my 6 month of sobriety. He brought his girlfriend, who brought her Cocker Spaniel, who proceeded to shit on my couch, and not a solid shit either.
Ew.
I'm talking that thick cake batter diarrhea they get from cheap off-brand dog food, and she just looked at me, pinching her nose, and said snottily, "Aren't you going to clean that up?" My friend.
Still, ew.
Well, yeah. Okay. My friend looked at her, got up, grabbed some paper towels, and cleaned it while apologizing to me repeatedly. He dumped her the next day because the same thing happened at his parents' house. She was a bitch. You think?
Yeah.
God, I would punch someone in the fucking face if they were like, aren't you going? Oh no, bitch!
I would go off.
I would seriously punch her. Like, I wouldn't know what else to do. I would seriously just punch her in the face. And be like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my house. Oh my God. Okay. This is from Redditor Brothelo Soldier. One of my ex's douche buddies brought over his horrible girlfriend he just started dating. I have a good amount of cats, and they are all insanely friendly. My old man kitty, Buddy, jumped on the armrest of the couch, and she was sitting on to check out the newcomer and get some pets. Without missing a beat, she shoved him hard on the floor and made a loud ugh sound. I stood.
Bitch.
I know. Oh my God. I stood right up, pointed to the door, and sternly said, "He lives here. You don't. Leave."
Good.
Probably not as bad as most here, but it infuriated me, and she was never allowed back. That's exactly. I would be like, "Fuck you. Get the fuck out." Like, oh my God. People are assholes. Next one's from Redditor Resh Caden. I used to host extravagant yearly parties at my house as a thank you to everyone who worked for me. Significant others were fine, but I stressed that young kids were not welcome because it was an adult party and the house/garden just weren't kid-friendly. One of the guests, who's a mother, decided to bring her 4 children anyway,
Oh my gosh.
all under the age of 12, and leave them completely unattended. I walked into my master bedroom halfway through to find they had filled a dirt hole in the garden with water from a hose, made goopy mud pies, stomped around in them, came back inside, and crawled into my bed under the covers,
Oh my gosh.
and ground their shoes intentionally into my pillow and all of my bedding. They also took all the clothes out of my closet, put them on, threw them on the floor, stomped on those, and ruined 2 rugs on the way. The mom's response, "Ha, well, that's just how kids are, you know. You'll understand once you decide to finally grow up and have some."
Oh no.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay, you leave your 4 children under the age of 12 unattended, and you have the nerve to tell someone to grow up?
They brought him in the first place.
Oh my God, I hate people. Not you guys. Unless, again, you act like this, then I'm not. Anyway. Next one. Oh, it's from a former Redditor. He said he had to go to the bathroom, and after 20 minutes, I decided to go see if he was okay. Found him on my mother's computer watching adult vids and jerking it.
Oh my gosh. Are you fucking kidding me?
Who does that? Who? Why? What? I mean... God. What is wrong with
I'd
people?
probably walk over and punch him right in his junk. Fucker.
You want to jerk it now? Are you still in the mood? What the fuck? Oh my God. This is from Redditor Carathistle. My father-in-law is unfortunately an asshole who happened to stay at my house once. My significant other and I cooked dinner, and it was something with tomato sauce. After a dinner full of father-in-law making racist, sexist, bigoted asshole comments, we went to clean up. The kitchen sink and dishwasher are maybe 10 feet from where he is sitting. I was taking my plate to the sink while making eye contact with and talking to my significant other, not looking at my father-in-law. He apparently held out his plate full of tomato sauce for me to take to the sink right there, and I didn't notice. After I didn't take it, his response was to flip the plate upside down onto the white carpet.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't apologize or say oops or try and clean it up. His response was to cross his arms over his fat body and frown. He has not been invited back since, although whenever we're frustrated, we now say, "Fuck it, plate flip." Oh my God. Why do people have to be assholes?
I don't know. They just must be extremely unhappy people. So they try to make everyone else around them unhappy too.
It's sad.
It's
sad and
sad
pathetic.
is what it is. Yeah.
Oh my God. Next one is from Redditor. That's my Bix. We were going out of town for the weekend, and my friend asked if he could stay at our house since he lived with his parents in the country, and it saved tremendously on his commute to his job. Plus, that way he could actually go to a party and drink with the option of taking a cab ride home that didn't cost close to $100. I jokingly said, just as long as you don't nail a one-night stand in my bed. Anyway, waved it off since he didn't have much luck with the ladies. Plus, he planned on sleeping on the couch anyway. From what I could tell when I came home afterward, there was a fermenting, rotting glass of our best liquor stashed in my bedroom. He was thoughtful enough to not want to leave the water ring, so our St. Vinny's dresser, so he used a white silk shirt from my drawer as a coaster for their red whatever drink he had concocted. Then, judging by the state of my bed sheets, which he had not bothered to change, he and his lady friend slaughtered a chicken together in bed.
Ew!
When I brought up these facts, he basically acted like I was a bitch for not being happy that he got laid.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna
How can people not understand what they do is wrong? Do they know that they're being dicks?
I don't
and
know.
Don't care?
I don't know.
Or do they
I will never think like that person. If I look and see something that I've done and it is not the way it was before, I fix it.
Yeah.
I will never oh my God, I don't know. I would never act like that. Period. Next one. It's from Redditor, Bind You'll and See.
Okay.
My sister was staying in my flat after my husband and me moved out. She gave me 2 weeks' notice of her moving out about a year later. When we went to look it over, we found the side garden full of bin bags, which I think are trash bags,
yeah.
and a leather sofa. Not the one that was in my house, but a completely different one. She had literally just picked up the kitchen rubbish bin and placed it outside. There was a huge knife right at the top. Things got worse inside. At one point, the freezer must have frozen over, but rather than defrost it, she just punched through the plastic doors of the drawers to get the food. The oven was so filthy, I have to replace it as the seals had rotted.
Oh my
In
gosh.
a year? What the
Wow.
fuck did she do?
Jeez.
God. That's someone that reminds me of.
I know. We won't go there.
Anyway. From Redditor.
If you
Next
don't
one.
have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
I'm moving on.
Okay.
For this next one, from Redditor, A Knows Best. Dyed her hair red in our bathroom sink, staining the brand new granite countertop.
Oh.
Then dripped onto the new tile floor. Then dripped onto the hardwood floor in the hallway, and ultimately slept in our guest bed with wet, freshly dyed red hair, staining the sheets and pillowcase. Who the fuck would do that? What is wrong? There's something wrong. Why?
I don't know.
Oh my God. I don't get it. And the last one is Strung Out from Strum Out. Oh my God. Redditor Strung Out Scott. The front door at my house has a key code instead of a standard key lock. A few years ago, I was away from home and my buddy texted me asking for the code because he had forgotten a sweater or something at my house a few days prior. It wasn't a big deal. I've known him since middle school and he was one of my best friends. I told him just to go in because my other roommate was gone for the night. I get a call around midnight that my friend, he was fucked up and told me that he had some people over at my house and it got a little out of hand. It turned out it was a full-blown party. I was so fucking mad I couldn't get home till the next day. My place was pretty wrecked, and I found a bunch of weird shit in my bedroom. Cut up soda cans, baking soda, etc. I called my friend to see what the fuck happened, and I guess some dude was cooking crack in my bedroom.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god. That's messed up. Okay, those were mine for the week.
Now that we're all pissed off, let's do the witty wrap-up.
Yay!
Have a little joy in our lives. Now, this week I did funny grocery store signs.
Okay.
Now, on the website, it was actually the picture of the sign.
Right.
Obviously, no one can see the picture, but
Okay.
they're still funny. Okay.
Okay.
So these are signs. Some of them were like pre-printed. Some were you could tell that they made it themselves.
Like written out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first one is a bin of condoms, and above it it says, "For Mom with love."
Oh no. Oh. I don't think so.
Next one says, "Baby needs beers and wine."
Now, I could see baby needs for parents. When you have a baby, you definitely need beer and wine.
Boneless bananas, 89 cents.
Sweet. Those boneless bananas are hard to find.
I know, they really are. Canned cat, dry cat, and cat sand.
Ew, what?
Canned cat. I think they left some words off. Kellogg's Pops with a sign that says "Special Cereal." Got some cereal here for you. CEARL. That was obviously one that someone wrote out, and they thought it was cereal, not cereal. Another sign said "Fish, crap, and cuttlefish."
I'm assuming they meant carp.
I think so. This one, it's over an onion bin. It says "Fresh herpes." At this store, you can get a baboon for $2.99 a pound. Here's another, "Baby needs," and under it said "pain." This one was hot dog and soda, $1, and all proceeds go to the American Heart Association.
Oh my god. No.
This one, you can get hot dogs and AIDS for $2.50. But this one is a pretty good deal. You can get marinated rape for $3.99 a pound. It was on sale. It was used to be $5.99 a pound, but now it's $3.99 on sale. Marinated rape.
That is a good deal. I mean, you can't argue.
$2 off. Come on. The next one says Mexican, Chinese, crackers. Get it?
Yeah.
This store is really cool because they are open 9 days a week.
Holy shit. That is amazing.
In another store, you can get Pop-Tarts for $2.69.
You said Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tarts. Not Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart?
You said Pop-Tarts. herring fillets and ass sauces.
Ass sauce.
It was an abbreviation for assorted. But they didn't put...
Oh,
They just left it as ass. So you get ass sauces with your herring. Or you can get a bone and butt portion.
What?
Bone and butt.
Oh my gosh.
And with your bone and butt, you're going to get some cock sauce.
Oh, I've never heard it put quite like that. How much was the cock sauce?
It didn't say.
Oh.
All right. This sign said, "Get it while it's hot. Glacier bag of ice." Lemons, perfect for orange juice. This one was in a vegetable bin, but I'm not sure what this is. It said it's Zaboka, not breast. Please don't squeeze. I don't know what Zaboka is.
I don't know, but
And then at this store you can get Welsh Lady ass fudge. And then my last one, this place, it has Chinese wieners for kids.
that was inappropriate.
That's all I got.
Oh my god. That reminds me, when I lived by myself in Indianapolis when I was like 18, I got a Chinese menu in the mail, and it said open 365 days a year except Thanksgiving. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
They apparently do math like we do.
That's right. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. Again, email us. We want to hear any story, even if it's a one-liner or a funny sign you see at the grocery store. Email us, ghouls.nightoutpodcast@gmail.com. Rate, review, subscribe, download. Like I said, you can go anywhere and rate us. The higher that we get on the list, the better. That's it, I guess.
That's it.
All right. Thanks again for listening. We will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.